Jake had moved back to Harrison Cove for peace. His dream was simple, a quiet life on his lake with Liberty Bell bobbing peacefully at his dock. But that peace shattered the moment the HOA arrived like an invading army. It started with a woman, in a floppy sun hat and oversized sunglasses, pointing at his boat with an air of authority that didn't belong. "Move your yacht immediately, or we'll have it towed and fine you," she snapped into her walkie-talkie, her voice sharp and commanding. Jake didn't flinch. He just watched, calm as ever, as the HOA members set up their chaos, tables, coolers, fishing rods, like they owned the entire lake. They'd brought a small festival onto his property, acting like they had rights he knew they didn't. It wasn't even about the boat or the dock. It was about the audacity. They assumed control of his land, his water, his life. When she ordered him to move his yacht or face legal action, Jake finally decided enough was enough. He reached into his pocket, pressed a remote button, and a hydraulic gate swung shut across the only road leading to his property. A loud alarm blared. Liberty. Bell's engine roared to life. The crowd froze. The woman's mouth hung open. The HOA members looked around, stunned. The tables, the coolers, the fishing gear, all suddenly irrelevant. "Last warning," Jake's voice echoed over the water. "Leave now, or I shut this down for good." He stepped onto his boat, revved the engine, and activated the dock's alarm system. A loud buzzing filled the air, causing the party to halt. Laughter died. Tents and banners flapped in the wind. All eyes were on him. From the shoreline, Karen Meyer, the HOA president, fumed. She screamed into her walkie, but Jake just kept his eyes steady. Suddenly his phone buzzed, a new threat. A message from Karen. "We're calling the sheriff. You're trespassing on community property." Jake smirked. He already had the legal proof. Deeds, water rights, the original 1958 sale, solid, unbreakable. His silence was his strength. But she wasn't finished. The next day, the flyers appeared. "Save our lake," they proclaimed, with pictures of kids and signs demanding access. The community was mobilizing. And on Saturday, over 40 residents gathered outside his gate, waving signs and chanting, "Open our lake." Jake, arms crossed, stepped outside to face them. "One more step," he warned, voice calm but firm, "and I'll call the sheriff again." But they didn't listen. They camped out overnight. Fires flickered in the dark. The next morning, Jake found his shoreline littered with trash. His boat's ropes had been cut. Liberty Bell was drifting. Sideways, battered, vandalized. He called the sheriff immediately. When deputies arrived, they confirmed what he already knew. Karen's son and some neighbors had broken in and vandalized his property. But the worst was yet to come. A cease and desist letter arrived, accusing Jake of distress and demanding he remove Liberty Bell. The media caught wind of it. Headlines made him out to be a villain, a rich, entitled outsider trying to steal community land. Threats flooded his inbox. His peaceful life was unraveling. Yet, amid the chaos, a secret emerged. Someone had recorded Doug Crane, the new HOA boss, secretly plotting during a private meeting. His words were damning. Plans to turn the lake into a profit machine, to build a floating cafe, to charge for every splash. Jake's lawyer filed a countersuit. The legal war had begun. But Doug was desperate. He made a bold move, showing up with camera crews, claiming he wanted peaceful negotiations, while secretly plotting even darker schemes, and the shadows grew deeper. Jake stood on his boat, watching the crowd grow restless. The sheriff's deputies had just left, shaking their heads, warning him to stay inside. But he wasn't about to hide. Not now. Not after what he'd uncovered. Suddenly, a loud crash shattered the tense silence. The crowd gasped. From behind, the trees, a black SUV sped onto his property, tires squealing. Men in dark clothes jumped out, rushing toward his dock. "Stop him!" someone shouted. Jake's heart pounded. He reached for his phone, but before he could dial, the men were already cutting through his fences. One of them had a crowbar, swinging wildly at Liberty Bell's chains. "No!" Jake yelled, racing forward. A voice boomed from behind. Drop. Everything. It was Karen Meyer, the HOA president. Her face was pale, eyes wild. She held a gun, trembling but ready. Back off, Jake. We're taking what's ours. Jake froze. His mind raced. He knew she was bluffing. Her hands shook. Her voice cracked. But the gun made him cautious. Suddenly, a flash lit the sky, an explosion of light. Something had hit the water, sending waves crashing onto the shore. A drone. It hovered above, camera blinking, recording everything. Get out of here, Jake shouted, trying to reason through the chaos. Karen shouted back, This isn't over. We own this lake. But before she could fire again, an explosion rocked the ground nearby. A loud bang. Smoke billowed from the woods. From behind the trees, masked figures emerged. Armed, determined. Jake's eyes widened. This wasn't just HOA drama anymore. This was something much darker. The men in black advanced, guns drawn. Karen's grip on the gun slipped. She stumbled. Back, dropping it. One of the masked figures stepped forward. He pulled off his mask, revealing a familiar face. It was Mark, a local who'd disappeared years ago. His eyes cold, voice steady. You should have stayed out of this, Jake. This lake's ours now. Jake's stomach sank. He realized the truth. Karen and her crew weren't just HOA. They'd been plotting with these outsiders all along. This was a war, and he was caught right in the middle. He looked around desperately. Liberty Bell's engine roared. An idea sparked. Everyone back off, Jake yelled. Or I'm firing the alarm. Now! His voice echoed over the water. The masked men hesitated. Karen's face twisted with fury. Suddenly, a new figure appeared. An old man dressed in rugged clothes, stepping from the shadows. His voice deep and commanding. This isn't how it ends. You want this lake? You'll have to fight for it. And with that, he pulled out a small device, activating a hidden alarm that blared across the woods. The standoff reached its peak. In that moment, Jake knew one thing. This battle was only just beginning. The explosion echoed again, loud and deafening. Flames shot into the sky, lighting up the dark woods. Jake's heart hammered in his chest. All around him, chaos erupted. Shouts, gunfire, the crackle of the fire. It was a war he never saw coming. He stared at the burning trees, at the masked figures fighting their way toward him. Then, a voice cut through the chaos. Sharp, cold, unstoppable. Stop! All of you! It was her. Karen Meyer's voice. But this time, it wasn't trembling or angry. It was commanding, unbreakable. And she wasn't alone. From the smoke, a tall figure appeared. It was a woman, dressed in black, her eyes fierce and glowing with purpose. She stepped forward with a calmness that chilled the air. I've been waiting for this moment, she said softly. I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to end this. Jake's eyes widened. His mind spun. Who was she? Why was she here? Suddenly, a flash of silver, something shiny in her hand. A gun? No, something else. She raised her hand, revealing a small device, a strange, glowing orb. This lake, she whispered, is more than just water. It's a secret, a power you can't even imagine, and I've come to protect it. Before anyone could respond, she pressed a button. The orb exploded in light, bright and blinding. In that instant, everything changed. The sky roared, the earth trembled, the flames flickered and died. The woods dissolved into shimmering particles, as if reality itself was bending. The masked men froze, caught in the light. Karen gasped, clutching her head. And Jake? He felt his body lift, weightless, as if he was drifting away from everything he knew. When the light faded, nothing was the same. The lake was gone. The woods were gone. In their place, a vast, glowing landscape stretched into eternity, filled with swirling colors and impossible shapes. He looked around, trembling. The woman in black stepped closer. Welcome, she said softly. This is the true world, the one hidden behind your reality. And now, you're part of it. Jake's mind reeled. He had fought for his lake, his home, his peace. But what he'd uncovered was far beyond anything he'd imagined. And now, He realized the greatest secret of all. The lake, the woods, the battle. They were just the beginning, because what lay ahead wasn't just a fight for land. It was a battle for the universe. Itself and Jake? He was no longer just a man from Harrison Cove. He was a guardian, a protector of worlds. And the story was only just beginning. Certainly. Here's the final chapter, packed with suspense, a powerful build-up, and a mind-blowing twist that leaves a lasting impression. Jake stared at the swirling, alien landscape, his mind racing to grasp what had just happened. The glowing woman in black, the guardian, smiled softly, as if she knew exactly what he was thinking. "You see," she said, "this is not just about your lake or your town. It's about a doorway, one that's been hidden for centuries. The real world, the true universe, lies beyond what you see. And now that you're here, you can never go back." Jake felt the weight of her words. His body was trembling, caught between fear and awe. He looked down at his hands. No longer just human hands, but glowing with strange light. Suddenly, a sharp noise broke through the silence. Someone was approaching fast. From behind the shimmering horizon, figures emerged, dark, cloaked, familiar. It was Karen Meyer. But she was different. Her eyes were cold, her face strange, like she was someone else entirely. She stepped forward, voice hoarse. "You think you've won? No. This was always meant to be." Before Jake could react, she pulled out a small, glowing object, something like a shard of the same light that filled this new world. And she whispered, "This is the real power, the reason we fought so hard." Jake's stomach dropped, the pieces clicked into place. Karen wasn't just fighting for the lake. She had been working for the true source of power, the secret behind everything. The Guardian's face darkened. "No, that's not how it works. That shard is dangerous. It's what keeps this world in balance, and if it falls into the wrong hands..." But Karen interrupted, eyes blazing. "Wrong hands? No. It's meant for us. We were chosen. We're the true heirs of this power." In that moment, the sky split, open. An enormous shadow descended. An entity, ancient and terrifying, emerging from the depths of the universe. It roared and reached out with clawed hands, shaking the very fabric of the new world. The Guardian stepped in front of Jake, shielding him. "Hold on," she said urgently. "This isn't just a battle anymore. It's a sacrifice." Jake watched helplessly as Karen lunged forward, trying to plunge the shard into the shadow's heart. But the shadow was faster. It snatched her in an instant. Her scream echoed as she disappeared into the darkness. And then, silence. The Guardian turned to Jake, her eyes filled with sorrow. "She was wrong. The power isn't ours to take, it's to protect." She reached out, taking his hand. "You've seen the truth now. You're part of this world, forever. And it's your choice, fight or vanish into the void." Jake looked at the glowing shard in Karen's hand, then at the cosmos swirling before him. He realized something terrifying. The power they fought over was never meant to be controlled. It was a living, breathing force, one that chose its guardians, and now it was calling him. With a heavy heart, Jake reached out and touched the shard. The universe around him trembled. Light engulfed him, and he felt his own soul merge with the infinite. He understood at last. The real secret of the lake, the woods, the battle, was not just about land or power or even survival. It was about the destiny of every universe, and Jake, he was no longer just a man, he was now the keeper of the void. The final twist, as Jake's new form dissolved into pure energy, a voice echoed softly in the darkness. "You thought you fought for your world, but you were chosen to become its guardian, and the real nightmare has only just begun." Because the universe was vast and the true darkness was waiting in the shadows, ready to wake, and Jake, the new protector, would carry that burden forever.